How many miles are on your shocks?
Just coming up on 100,000.
So someone's asking, at what mileage would you proactively replace OEM shocks on a B8S4 running 034 springs? Car has 100,000 miles, no major fluid leaking or extreme bounciness, but wondering when should replace for the best ride. When someone else says, if I'm at 94,000 miles, should I change the struts when installing your OEM springs? I think officially we would say you don't need to change them until you can determine that they've actually gone bad.
Yeah. The OEM struts are really high quality.
They're really good.
We've had really good luck with those, and you know, yeah. Aside from like some environments and different salt and road conditions, they can certainly wear a lot faster. But yeah, I haven't had any reason to swap ours out. It's been tracked a lot. It's been driven a ton, and yeah, I'm on the same thing.
Babied or anything.
I'm at 100,000 on mine, and no reason I would be swapping these out anytime soon.
I think usually the best indication is there fluid leaking. That's what's mentioned.
Yeah.
Once the fluid starts leaking, then it's bad.
Yeah, you may not see like fluid, but you'll start seeing just grimy mess. It'll be a really dusty, dirty looking strut, and that's just some weepage that maybe you don't see the fluid, but it's the after effect of it.
The other thing that happens, and then you won't see this from the outside, is that if the valving inside the shock either fails or degrades, then the shock won't have the correct damping. The fluid won't leak out. But for example, if you remove that valving, the shock shaft would just go in and out of the housing effortlessly because there would be no resistance inside. So, if you've got some extra money and you wanna feel that you're getting the best performance, I think putting new ones in at 100,000 definitely wouldn't hurt anything other than your pocketbook.
I would strongly recommend doing it with an OEM shock. I wouldn't go to an aftermarket and expect it to last as long.
Yeah. And if you've got some extra money but not too much, then replace the fronts because those are doing a little more work than the rears. But no, I mean if you don't want to spend the money and the car feels like it rides and handles well, there's always the bounce test where you kind of push down on the fender and see how many cycles does it bounce. A good shock should dampen that within 1 or 2 cycles of you lifting off. This is not a scientific test.
Beware, that test can be weird with mag ride shocks because they're not always energized.
They're not energized.
That will alter how it works.
But I think if you don't feel like the car's bouncy or loosey goosey, going down the road,
you can tell pretty quickly what a poorly dampened car. I mean, you're going to get these oscillations and just this never ending boat ride down the road.
So here's the thing you can do with a buddy if you'd like is go down a stretch road that's pretty bumpy and see if your buddy can get even you could use a GoPro or something, but if they can film what your tires are doing as they go over those bumps. A good functioning shock will have relatively controlled movement of the tire over those bumps. So you'll see a bump hit the tire and you'll see the wheel and tire assembly react and then come to a rest really quickly. If you have a bad shock, you'll just see that tire just start bouncing like that off the road. Right. And I don't know if you've been on the freeway and you've seen someone next to you and one of their front right tires just bouncing up and down
like massively bent wheel and a blown.
That's just a completely blown shock. So, but again, if it's that bad, you would feel it. I think generally we're talking about automotive enthusiasts here. You're really in tune with what the car's doing. But we're not here to tell you to just waste your money. We're not about that.